purpose, the why, and the action. But I might say to Tom, if you can get this done without this action or better action, go for it, baby. You never get beyond scarcity. You got to start beyond it. You got to plant your feet. And so many people say, well, when I'm rich, I'll give some money. If you won't give a dime out of a dollar, I can promise you're not going to give 10 million out of 100 million, right. Not in a trillion years. So if you start, what I always believe is it transforms you. I would say that the capacity to strengthen and increase your hunger is the one common denominator amongst the most successful people. Richard Branson's a good friend of mine, and Peter Guber, Steve Wynn, all these guys, they've never lost their hunger. Most people are hungry to achieve a certain amount, make a certain amount of money, and then they get comfortable and relax, or to get a certain level of fitness, and then they relax. But Richard is as driven today as when he was 16 years old starting. I mean, he's like on fire, and he's 65 years old. Warren Buffett is 85 years old. He's as driven today as when, he began the journey, right? And so people that have that hunger, I believe intelligence, I love people that are wickedly smart. And I work to be wickedly smart by educating and training myself and so forth and training my brain. But there's a lot of intelligent people can't fight their way out of a paper bag, right? Hunger is the ultimate driver, because if you're hungry, you can get the strategy, you can get the answer. If you can't model it, you can find it. So hunger.
One of the hardest things that it's going to happen to you while on your journey of success is figuring out what it is that you can do to improve. There's going to be a lot of things that you think you need to do, but it's what you actually need to do to improve. So you need to make sure that you are constantly focused on being better than you were every single day, and find a way to grow in certain ways that you didn't ever think possible. Find a way to grow and mature in ways that other people aren't thinking that you can. Prove them wrong should be a great mindset to have. Figure out what you can do and be the best that you possibly can at it. Now, your goals and your dreams aren't going to be accomplished your first attempt. It's going to take a long time. It's going to take a lot of energy. It's going to take a lot of attempts, and you are going to fail. But when you fail, it's all about using that failure to the best of your advantage and figuring out what it is that you can improve. Figure out something new to learn, something new to take away from that experience in which soured your taste for all that hard work that you've put in and all that energy and all that time. So focus on what it is that you truly love and go out there and make it happen. And make sure that you never ever give up, because there's a huge difference between giving up and failing. Because when you fail, you have the opportunity and the chance to come back. You have the chance to prove others wrong. But when you give up, that's when they are proved right. The people that doubt you, the people that say you can't do it, when you give up, those are the people that you're making happy. Those are the ones that are proving wrong. But when you fail and rise back up to the occasion to get fired up and go at it again, that's when you're proving them wrong.
Step one is obsess, get totally focused, unleash your desire, that gives the energy. Step two is not waiting. It's massive action. Keep changing your approach until you find effective execution. If you're running east looking for a sunset, I don't care how positive you are, you're not going to see the sunset. It's the wrong strategy, right? It's just not going to happen. So you got to have a proven strategy, and you can get there faster, same way I've done it with these books, is saying I could go this, or I could spend 4 years, interview 50 of the smartest people in the world, all billionaires that started with nothing, and find out what they did, and compress decades into days. That's really the purpose of everything that I do. So when you have that plan and you keep changing your approach, I always tell people, how long would you give your average kid to learn how to walk? Before you turned to the kid and said, dude, it's never gonna happen, you're not a walker, just give it up. Right? People go, you're crazy, my kid's gonna keep trying until. Well, that's really step two. You keep changing your approach until you find it. And then the third step to achievement really is, as simple as it may sound, if you're obsessed, you know what you want, you're taking massive action, maybe you modeled somebody, figure out the right action so you get there quicker, and you're executing, you still need a little grace. Some people call it luck, but I really believe that there's the part we do and then there's the part that comes to us. But I do know grace shows up a lot more when you do the first two steps on your own, and grace shows up a lot more when you acknowledge grace in your life, when you acknowledge that I was born in a world where I didn't have to build this internet that I can pull out of my pocket the answer to anything on earth. I am driving on streets I didn't pave. I'm reading books I didn't have to write. That's the gift of our lives, and I think when we experience that grace, we don't just experience more achievement, but we start to experience more fulfillment. So many times people fail to achieve what they want in their life, but they fail to see what they always get. And it doesn't matter what your goal is. Sometimes you fail to achieve the goal, but there's certain core intentions that you'll always find a way to meet. For example, I'm always gonna learn. That's just the way I'm driven. I'm always gonna find a way to laugh. I'm always gonna find a way to make a difference. I'm always gonna find a way to love and be loved and to share. And when I looked over my life and said, out of all the things I've been through, even the toughest times, what were the core intentions that were always met? There's certain things that always happen, and it produces a different level of certainty in you when you start to know, hey, this is what I always find a way to make happen. And it may not be a huge list, it may only be a few things. Like you always find your way through the challenge, right? So I'd like you to have that before you get on the live session with us. And then the other one is just a quick little vision process, if you will. Before you get on, you're gonna get more out of it if you know what you want. So real simple process. I just love to have you kind of change your body a little bit, feel strong. Don't do it in a slump state. Get yourself in a strong state. Take a pen and paper, your iPad, or whatever you use, and just write down 2 specific goals you want to achieve in the next 6 to 12 months. One in your personal life, one in your professional life. And be specific. Not, I want to make more money. Fine, here's $1, get out of here. You just achieved your goal, right? I want to lose some weight. Yeah, you lose a pound, you're there. The mind works on specificity. So if you can get really clear exactly what you want, that's truly achievable if you applied yourself. Not some pie in the sky 20 years from now. Something you could do in the next 6, 12 months if you really applied yourself, if you were hungry, if you were driven, if you had some new skills. What could you accomplish personally and professionally?
Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let us know what you thought down in the comment section below.